Hey, what's going on, everybody? How's it going? How y'all doing today? Welcome back. So for today's video, we're getting into a brand new Netflix show that is called Another Life. Now, some of you that follow me know that I generally try not to mess with TV too much, unless it's like Stranger Things or something special like that. Because in all reality, there is just a ridiculous amount of content. Like, it's just never ending. Every 2 seconds, a new show is popping up on some new streaming service. But in this particular instance, I'm a sucker for anything sci-fi, and also Katie Sackhoff and Justin Chatwin are the two main stars of the show, and I quite enjoy what those two actors have to offer. But for the sake of saving everybody time, I'm not even going to bury the lead. I would like to know who in the fuck decided to greenlight this show, because I have many questions. And some of you guys have heard me say before, but I really don't like giving bad reviews to things, because you know that there were hundreds of people that worked on this show, there were hundreds of people that were trying their best, and nobody sets out to make a terrible thing. Like, nobody wants to make bad art. But I gotta call it like I see it, and I'm not gonna bullshit you guys. This show is fucking ridiculous. The basic plot of the show is that Katie Sackhoff and Justin Chatwin, they play a husband and a wife, and Katie Sackhoff goes off into space because there is a very large alien artifact that has attached itself to Earth, and Justin Chatwin just so happens to be the scientist that is examining it. So in an effort to track down the origins of this artifact, Katie Sackhoff and her crew go off into space to the planet where they think it's from. And then from that point forward, everybody just tries to figure out whether or not the aliens are hostile or whether they're just trying to make friends. Which, by the way, does not sound like a bad premise. Like, with the bare bones of it, it sounds like a combination of the movie Sunshine kind of mixed up with the movie Arrival. The big difference is that Sunshine, they were aiming to kickstart the sun, whereas this is more of like kind of an explorational mission. And the show is not 100% negative, don't get me wrong, because Katie Sackhoff and Justin Chatwin try their damnedest to make this shit work. And you know what? Some of the visual effects actually looked pretty dope. Like some of the interstellar shots or anything that goes on in space, there's a lot of really cool imagery in there. And also, after I got done with the first episode, I was actually really anxious to see what happened, because the first episode, it was a little bit rocky, I wasn't sure what the tone was gonna be, but the ending point was really, really solid. And another thing that was really, really solid was the very, very end of the season. However, unfortunately, the destination did not justify the journey in any way, shape, or form. And I would seriously like to know, like, whose dick do I have to suck to get my 10 hours of life back? Like, seriously, this show sucks. Like, I had no idea what they were trying to do. Tonally, I had no idea what they were trying to do. Like, with the script, I had no idea what they were trying to do. With all the character chemistries, that was confusing. This is literally one of the horniest sci-fi shows I have ever seen. Like, literally, everybody tries to get it in at some point or another. And also, some of the music was just way the fuck out of left field. I shit you not. There is a scene where somebody is literally trying to save the entirety of the ship from dying, and there's like some weird, like, Justice and or Daft Punk, like, hard techno song playing. And it was just happy and weird, and lights were flashing in a weird way, and I was like, what the fuck am I watching right now? And not all of the characters, but quite a few of the characters, they just plainly suck a lot. There is one female character where literally every single line, she has to say fuck at least once, as if that was the only way that you could differentiate her character from the rest of them in the script. After a while, it's like, dude, I get it. She's raunchy, she's rebellious, and she's also annoying. And then meanwhile, back on Earth, there's this like crazy social media news person who is played by Selma Blair, and again, she tries her best to do with the shitty script she was given, but for some reason, the script felt the need to remind you literally as much as possible that she had 250 million followers on social media. Legitimately, at least 10 points throughout the show, somebody has to say that. 250 million. And that's kind of how I feel about the script in general. It's just gratuitous to the point of annoyance. And I think in general, to me, this is just like some really, really shitty MTV pilot that they just decided to make an entire series of. Because a lot of the characters' chemistry just did not work, and like sometimes when people were delivering lines, it just sounded very like peppy and odd. Like the majority of the time, they just didn't sound serious, and considering the stakes that are at hand, you know, the fate of the Earth, it didn't really, I didn't feel that at all. I did, however, I did kind of like the idea that they had for the artificial intelligence, because it's actually like a hologram. And the guy, the actor that actually plays the hologram, like, I thought he actually did a pretty solid job until, you know, the second half of the show. Then it started to get weird. And apparently these characters are stupid enough that they would put things from foreign planets in their mouths. I'm not kidding. That literally happens at one point. And coincidentally, that scene of tasting things from another planet also happens to be this really weird romantic buildup. Because again, like I said, space makes people horny. And I also found it odd how most of the characters' outfits, you know, while they're in space, they're oddly fashionable, which adds to the whole MTV factor of the show. It's like, well, everybody's got to look stylish even when they're in space, when, you know, the fate of mankind is at stake. God knows NASA has the budget for that kind of shit. And the final thing that I'll say is that this show, from a tonal standpoint, had no fucking clue what it was doing. Because in one scene, there will be a dream sequence about people like fighting off aliens like it was a scene from Alien Covenant or something that actually seemed well done. But then not too far off from that, people are just getting high off space particles and What? As if it wasn't bad enough that this show borrows from, like, I can't tell you how many other sci-fi movies. Obviously, it's like Arrival in Sunshine, like I said, which would have been a fine enough premise all by itself, but parts of it felt like Prometheus and that there's an AI awake while everybody's in, like, cryostasis, and then it felt like Alien Covenant because they go to a planet where they're not supposed to multiple times, and it also felt like The Thing every once in a while. It had shades of Interstellar, and then they had a couple elements from the movie Moon sprinkled on top. Like, I could probably go on further, but I don't really feel like racking my brain over this piece of shit show. But anyway, overall, guys, I don't know if you could tell by my enthusiasm, but this show is a giant waste of time. So I think overall, for a score out of 10, I think I'm gonna give it like a 2.4. Unless you are a giant sci-fi fan or you are a giant Katie Sackhoff fan, I don't know what to tell you. But on the flip side, if you want to watch good sci-fi on Netflix, watch either Stranger Things or Travelers. Those are two good ones. But anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Have you guys seen this show? Have you guys heard of this show? Did I scare you off watching the show? Hop in the comments. Let me know what's up. Other than that, if you like this review, please give me a like, subscribe, share, comment, hit the bell, do all that other happy horse shit that YouTubers tell you to do, and I will catch you guys next time.